Hey, we're live. How about that, guys?
Okay.
How's everybody doing? We're here for the newest installment of Battle Pirates Crow's Nest No Quarter. It's number episode 79, or as I labeled it personally for myself, another free weekend. So, of course, we got Chuck with us.
Evening all.
We got Stormcatcher.
Hello, everyone.
We got Ross.
Good evening, everyone.
And Simba had just rejoined us. She might not have her mic on yet, though. So, I guess today we'll be talking about the bounty. But what number are we on now? 24 or something? 2 years into bounty?
I don't even know.
Think so.
So, who's doing it?
Oh, I am.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I am.
Oh, sweet. So I'm the only one not doing it.
Huh. Really? Okay. Yeah.
So, go ahead, Ross.
I started out. I went really strong right off the gate when it started out with the employee bases. I found that that's what it was my go-to. For point wise, I realized that's what I needed to do and get them as fast as earn what I needed to earn while those were out. I did test the other avenues, hitting players, and also hitting the map targets. But when I figured it out in the time I wanted to spend for the points that I needed, the best route was to hit those employee bases. So I ran it up to 200,000 on those, and I really didn't find a hard time with them. Did not go after certain ones. I was picking out random numbers not to hit more than hitting certain ones. I found it rather fun and engaging for once, and the target itself, the guard ships in them, they're no longer. They didn't have subs for me. They didn't. They had engaging fleets, many of them. So I liked it, but at any rate, I ran up to 200K while those were out, and then since that time I've picked up about 30,000, but that's just random here and there. I'm not coining repairs at this point. I've gotten what I've wanted, and it's gone out really well. I don't get involved in the shipwreck aspect of it. So for me, it's a 2 thumbs up. I've got what I wanted.
Cool. Simba, how's it going for you?
It's going right. I'm at 153K. I've been actually hitting regular player bases. I did some kicks at employee bases. Now, Ross, which one did you feel was the hardest one out of all the kicks at employee bases?
Well, it was dependent on the fleet I was using at the time. So there were certain numbers that I have a breacher fleet, and then I was using a subjugator fleet at a different time. So I'd use the breacher fleet until it died, and then I'd use the subjugator fleet until it died. So I was randomly picking off certain numbers. Now, I think it was the 139 hurt. I had a hard time, or not a hard. It did a lot of damage to my subjugators. The 130 did a lot of damage to my breacher. So it was certain things like that. The number orders didn't always coincide with the damage for sure. I could do, I don't know, the higher number with the subjugator and take less damage than I would with if I tried to hit the 93 with the breacher, or it would just it was back and forth is what I'm meaning to say. I didn't stick with a certain number. I did notice that there was numbers without guards. I liked the 101 with the Basculus.
Yeah.
For guards. I found that one in fun, entertaining, and damage was not damage free, but it was decent. I liked it. So I really rushed to the 101s, the 100. The 93 had three brand new turrets from the start before the store opened. So the 93 was kind of interesting if you wanted to test out certain chips. Now, they didn't have the faction correct, and they also didn't have them by the OP. But at least you got to see the new turret before anyone else.
Oh, so the 93 was a hack base, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Those kicks I employ, they get away with it.
No, they can. I mean, they can. It's just, hey, but here's the best part. So I found the map, the same base on the map in the real world. It's in my world, and it has them in it too. It had them before, but hey, that's how it worked. It was definitely a doable base. However, so I couldn't. You can't complain really. It was not too bad. I mean,
did.
It's 93. Go ahead. Sorry.
I did the kicks I employed basis. Because I knew that they were dropping points. Mainly, I think this concentrating around the was it the 92? It didn't have a guard fleet in it. And quite often I'd get 4K out of it. I mean, I think it ranged between it was between 2,400 and 4K. Most of the time you get about 28. But, I mean, they all add up, and I hit quite a few of them. I did hit a few other ones as well, got to obviously test what they were like. But I was looking for the 92s and hunting around. I finished with 150K on the Kickside player basis for very little damage. I was using the U2 breacher fleet on that. I was happy, and I'm now at 181 because that's just from drops that they give me, and we've got a golden nexus, and if I remember to collect off of that as well, and then I've done little top ups where I have hit a few player bases just to, because of a couple of drops a day and the nexus. Then I've hit a couple of bases and taken me. I've got an extra 30K, but I don't need anything. I've got what I need really.
Yeah,
well, it sounds like the even the lower level kick spaces, they might have upped the payouts to them a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Weren't the Nazis paying only 1,200 or something last time?
Yeah. They were honestly all the way up to 4K, but primarily 2,400, 2,800 is what I was really averaging per hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Kick spaces were minimum 2,400, max 4K.
Yeah, that's
4K with random. It could have appeared on any level base.
Yeah, and it did, but without the 4K, look at the minimum. The minimum was that. I'm all for the bounty hitting other players. Okay, that's what it was intended, in my opinion, is for. But when they make the points, I'm also, I like math, and I like my money in my pocket. So I figured out that was the route to go. Other player bases were doing more damage if you were going for equal payout or higher. If you were going for the thousands, right across the board. You could go hit random player bases with low damage, because they're, at this point in the game, they're just damaged bases everywhere that are in the lower levels. You know what I mean? So from now on, you could hit other players if they're low numbered, because their bases are going to be damaged.
So let's be honest, there's a lot of high-level players at the 22 whose bases can't do much damage because they've given up on PvP.
Yes, for sure.
So, some of those people might still opt into bounty to maybe try to limp their way to the new turrets or whatever. But when you actually hit them, they're not going to do shit all to your actual fleet.
Right. There aren't a lot of people in bounty where I'm at, and I'm in an active area.
It's pretty busy in our world. We're in what's it be, the last one, 91 to 100, and it's pretty busy here, I must admit. So
Let's see, in our sector, there's like maybe 38 players running bounty. And in our world, there's probably up to 100.
I know the sector I'm in, we have over 100 players in bounty, and the number 100 person cuts off at 3,800 points bounty. So,
No, I guess, I mean, the numbers in where I'm at are high, or well, they're not low. Let me see, but they're not that high.
well, in our world, we've got BPL, Gimps, Pops 1, plus R1 and Phoenix. So there's quite a few big alliances. So yeah, it's pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm in with SDS7, but I'm just saying, if you're going to scan the map, not go by the locator, but if you scan the map for the people that are opted in for the symbols, it looks low. I'll say that.
Yeah.
When I go to the locator, I get the same names through the whole thing. And and I do want to say, cheers to SDS7. Yeah, they did I had a golden Nexus, the Crows did, and they ran through it pretty good when I was offline. But I'm happy to say that we can gladly report the Crows did not sit there and coin. So
I get the feeling from that statement that SDS7 may well have.
They do.
they have three. They have 3 golden Nexuses, but they coin.
Yeah.
Sounds about typical for them.
No, but I mean, and everybody has their right to do that too. I just choose not to.
There is no way in hell I am ever going to coin the repair of a mega hull. If it's dead, it's staying dead until it fixes itself in its own time. I spend money on this game, but I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not spending money for that. Because I've just claimed a 1,000 point payout from a Nexus share. But I'm going to spend 30 gold or something to repair a mega hull. How much do you think gold it would really take me to spend to go and get 1,000 points, 1,000 gold?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. It's just not. It's over 100, I think, for a mega hull.
It is, yeah. Sorry, yeah. It's very ridiculous. So yeah. So I didn't spend anywhere near that doing this, doing the whole thing. So yeah.
Right. I mean, but I will if I find enjoyment. I don't find that the mega hull is that engaging. or they're not. I don't know. It's not really fair fight usually. You know, they're kind of boring if you're one on one. You know, I'm getting beat up, smashed by Simba at the moment. While we're online, no, on the show, Simba's hit me here. So, but
I'm just saying hello.
yeah,
Yeah, we had a little mega battle out there, and I did get my my breaches sniped because I was in support. And I said, well, do you know what? I sent them home and put them on a long repair, you know.
right.
And we went out and done some FM, grind some FM out, you know. I've not been shoveling money at it, you know. I've kept it the spending to the bare minimum that I could this time, you know what I mean? Yeah. I've not even taken their offer at the moment, you know. So.
No, I agree. I mean,
I just tried to hit a shipwreck and I couldn't even join the battle. By the time I got in there, everything was lag heavy, and I couldn't even move around or anything like that. My fleet just sat there and sunk.
Glad you got to the shipwrecks. I haven't even touched them. You know, that's another thing I'm not that interested in is the shipwreck part of this event. You know.
Well, I just tried it, and that's what happened. So it's like, well, if that's going to happen, I'm not doing it.
and let's be honest, a lot of people play with different kind of connection speeds, and for those players, and sometimes shipwrecks, I do feel that there's more of a lag issue sometimes when I've tried, and I play the game relatively lag free. I have encountered some lag this bounty, that's for sure, but not game stopping for me. I've been relatively pleased with the performance. The times that I've done this event, I haven't been on it, you know, endless hours. Also, I've got it done the day one.
Well, I'm running FM and bounty at the same, you know. Also, I can join when I hit player bases. Um, I have no connection problem, and when I hit the FM targets, I have no connection problem. And but it seemed like if I hit shipwrecks, I have connection problems.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've had that too, or what they call a connection problem. So I'll just not do it. So
yeah, I did have a few connection, you know, getting into the battle and you know, endless loading screen when I was hitting the player bases. But you know, I was trying to refresh, and sometimes you forget to refresh. You know, you keep going, you're playing all right, and suddenly it just goes on you. But fortunately, because I was going in the ones that didn't really have guard fleets, I could normally reload the game, get back in time, and I hadn't taken that much more damage than I normally would have taken. You know what I mean? It'd be a fraction more, maybe like 10, 15 minutes added on. You know, and I could live with that.
yeah.
We've got about 78 players in our sector that are doing bounty. My main, I've got 39,000, and that's all I need for him. My alt, on the other hand, is 260,000 right now, and still grinding. Still needs a lot of stuff that's not in bounty that I'm not happy about. I have to wait till pillage and maybe it'll show up.
Yeah, I think I worked at about 110k. Was, you know, the upgrade tokens and the new like turret. You know,
I sat on this alt base for about 8 months, so yeah, it's a little behind.
I did. Well, the only thing I did spend a little bit of money on, gold actually. I think it was the build tokens for the subjugators. So I've got 4 done now at U1, and the 5th one is currently like upgrading. So I have 5. But I've been running with 4 and a basilisk, or I can mess them around because I've got everything else basically is upgraded. So switch your fleets about. So that's about what I spent the money, because I spent so little doing anything else. I thought, I could throw a bit of that.
Yeah,
I've been visited a few times by Crow.
I've only got 1 subjugator at U1, so. And I just got it for U1, so I haven't had to wait. Find some other, I just got to wait. I don't have the kits. I can do 1 more, I guess. I got enough kits for 1 more.
Yeah, but there was enough kits to do half of them, and there was enough kits to do half of them in previous ones. So I had like half a kit left, sort of thing, and then picked up the rest in this one, and I could get all 5 done. But there wasn't enough build tokens to get the 5th one finished. So I got 4 done, but I've now got to do the 5th one's going in kind of real time. Just let it go.
I'm just waiting for shipyards to open so I can actually do some upgrades.
And I'm also doing final little refits to my dragoons, and that, just changing a couple of things with them. But they're only about 21 hours just to refit on them. So so that's 5 days maximum just to refit the dragoon fleet. Yeah. And then I'll have that shipyard open for whatever I want to play around with. Actually, I've got to burn off a 2-day token. Because I got a 2 and a 2 last week, and I've got to get rid of some tokens. Otherwise, I can't get this week's tokens, either.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Mm.
Should change that stack rule.
Well, the thing is because the upgrades to the dragoons are only 1 day, and I don't want to burn a 2-day token for a 1-day upgrade.
Somebody was suggesting on Kick's Discord that they should break those up into 2 1-day tokens or 7 1-day tokens instead of being just a 7-day.
Yeah, I think we'd all prefer if they would like 24-hour tokens. You could live with that, couldn't you? Because you never get more than X amount anyway. It's not like you're going to get 40 of them. You're only going to get at the most 9 or 10 a week. You could live with that if it was 1 day, because you don't want to be burning 2 days tokens for a 1-day refit or something,
So, Damnation, how's your weekend going that you're enjoying?
Oh, it's going great, dude. I haven't logged on to Battle Pirates at all today, so I've been enjoying my weekend.
Damnation, in actual fact, today I've been watching Netflix, which I haven't done for a long time because I haven't had much to do on BP. Once I'd got the points I wanted, it's a case you go in, collect the drop, hit the Nexus, and then get back and do something else. Get off and do something else.
I've been watching Stargate all weekend, so I'm having a good time. So, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about with Bounty, or are we moving on?
No, we can move on. I mean, I'm just not a fan. I want to reiterate. I'm not a fan of the shipwrecks, so I do know that those are things to stay, but they don't have to be in everything, I guess. But I guess it doesn't hurt me not to do them. So I like that, I guess, as long as they, they don't make it prizes only in shipwrecks that I need. I'm worried about that.
Supposedly shipwrecks was running earlier, then they take a small break and they brought them back. Well, the beginning of bounty or anything on that, we didn't even have no shipwrecks up here. I mean, nothing. And I'm like, I see him posting everything about shipwrecks posting and running, and it's just like, I don't know why they didn't, what they wasn't running up here in our sector.
I'll say I've not really got into them. I've got all the upgrade tokens for all the bleeding interdict holes and stuff like that, But as I've mentioned before, I don't like all this upgrade rubbish. It was never meant to be that way,
Right.
So I've picked them up because in case I get forced to go that way. But I really don't want to go down that path, And that's why I've been avoiding the shipwrecks and stuff like that. If you can hold them, the drop is good. But I managed to get my points reasonably fast. Otherwise, not had to sit in one place for fucking hours,
Right.
Apart from my fucking computer chair, obviously.
So everybody's ready for pillage next week, right?
Oh yeah. Just in case you thought you was going to get arrested.
Depends on
It
what
never
we're
ends.
It all just melds into one, doesn't it?
It never ends. It's just one event to another event to another event to another event.
I think it's
Hard to believe that just a few short years ago the game wasn't like this. It's hard to believe that.
Yeah, that's it. I went to sleep for 8 hours and woke up 2 weeks behind.
Yeah. Which Stargate now, Damnation? That's what the chat's question is.
Oh yeah, I was just answering it in chat. I'm on the original Stargate SG.
There you go. There you go.
And then after that, I'll probably watch Atlantis. I never got into Universal Origin. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's a good one.
Maybe we'll start a new YouTube show called "What Damnation's Been Watching This Weekend."
Good deal.
So, what's everybody think's going to be in Pillage next week?
I have no earthly idea. Hopefully the sync drives.
I was just wondering. I'm wondering if they're going to have anything new in Pillage, or if it's just going to be old stuff. I mean, I would imagine they'll probably have kits and upgrade tokens and whatnot, but I don't know what they're going to do as far as any new content.
Knowing kicks, they're probably going to drop something that everybody wants.
The truth. I mean, that's the truth. And I always thought that pillage was a catch-up mechanism rather than anything else. And I'm going fishing all week, so I have Wi-Fi and all that, but I'm heading fishing, so I have priorities, and pillage is not high on that. So I'll be doing it, but it's got to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mention in the Battle Pirates next week thing. It doesn't mention any new prizes.
Right.
It just says you can another chance to earn points to get the Iron Claw Dragoon, the Lancer pack, and other great prizes. But it doesn't say other new prizes. But they never always word things right anyway. But if there's nothing new there, then there's nothing really that I need, to be honest with you.
I mean, and honestly, I would be happy with that because it would take me back to Battle Pirates from years ago that I only have one event in a month anymore.
No, right. No, I would be pleased. This is not, yes, exactly. We want to stress this out, that we're not upset about this. We're pleased.
I might have to take up fishing,
There's a VP next week. I didn't see no announcement for that.
What was that, Chuck?
I said there's a BP next week. I didn't see an announcement for that.
Yeah, it's it didn't get on the announcements on the Discord. I just happened to check before and saw it there.
Oh, you mean FM? Do you mean FM next week?
I haven't seen the.
BP.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because on their update, funny enough, they don't mention FM, even though they did before say that there was going to be the FMs. We're going to get another 2 FMs in a previous post.
But honestly, that was just a waste of their time saying you're going to have another 2 weeks of Forsaken Vision because everybody knows that. There's no point putting there something everybody knows.
Well, because one time we didn't get one, did we? A couple of weeks ago, we didn't get a bounty and we didn't get an FM.
That's because there was an extra week in there. That was an exception and not the rule.
But they should still put it in, the BP next week that the FM's going to start, just so everyone has got to get confirmation that it's there. That's the whole point of putting information out, is to make sure.
I think the only time they should ever mention the FM and BP next week is if there's not going to be an FM. Myself.
Okay.
Otherwise, the issues a waste of time putting something there that everybody knows is going to happen.
So I haven't seen BP next week yet either. So
it's not on the Discord. I'm going to have a chat with Gilly about that.
It's nothing all that exciting. They just say, hey, we're going to have the CM diary and update notes on the 30th, and then they're going to do pillage starts on the 2nd. That's the only thing in it.
Right on. Good.
Ooh. I just got away.
Never mind.
So yeah, for me, it's going back to one event a month again because I'm not doing shipwrecks because I don't like it. I'm not doing bounty because I just don't agree with the whole thing of putting base defense stuff in bounty. I think that should be, offensive stuff should be in bounty and defensive stuff should be in the raid, in my opinion. So I'm just not doing that out of principle. And so pillage is, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything new in there, so there's no reason for me to do that. And so I do not have to worry about the raids anymore. And I'm definitely down with that.
More binge watching of TV.
No, that's good. I mean, and that's, for me, it gives me some time. It means I still will be playing the game, and you will too. I mean, we'll be working. We'll still be advancing the fleets that we have. And let's be honest, there's a ton of upgrading you could be doing if you're still building. I mean, I'm still building I guess I'm to the upgrading mode on my Dragoons.
I'll be going back and tweaking my FM fleet myself.
I haven't even done my FM fleet has not even been tweaked once. It's horrible. But I don't have time. I haven't had time. With the
I think my Dragoons are pretty much fully done the way I want them. So yeah, I've been working on messing with my Praetorians a little bit, not trying to get them a little bit more up to where I want them.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 days to finish the Dragoon upgrades to where I want them. Yeah, the refits, and then saying that the FM fleet, that could probably do with a little tweak, but by that time I'll have finished my FM and I can start sort of doing some little refits on that, what I mean? And that way I can burn off a token or 2 as well, like I said, I need to get rid of.
Yeah, I talked to somebody last night about fleet for the FM fleets, and I need to switch something on it that took out some spread, and I got good splash, but my spread got cut back, so I need to turn around and switch out a special to get my spread back up to where it needs to be, so I can get more of the target than what I'm hitting, so I can get it done faster.
I have one thing if it's in pillage that wouldn't hurt my feelings is more hyper 30s because I can definitely use some more of those. It seems like I went from Hyper 30 sucked at one point in time, and it didn't really use it on anything, and now I want it back on a lot of stuff again. So
I've still got 37 of those Hyper 30s.
I do, because I'm not typically the guy who like stocks up on $1 billion or something. I get what I need and then just wait until I need them again and get better. Pardon the dog barking.
Yeah, I'm not
All
sure.
right. Well, what else do we want to talk about? Anything else, or are we just going to make this a simple, short, and sweet one?
Trying to think what else is on.
But I do want to stress the fact. I guess it's strange that we're not overly negative here. Truly, they haven't had any big blunders since we've seen everybody go last time. The games ran the same,
There was a bit of lag at the beginning of Bounty.
Yeah, there's still some lag issues, but I'm saying more than we expect, basically. You know what I mean? And I know.
To be fair, it's hard for me to be overly negative because I'm not playing. So there's nothing for me to give any kind of comparison on. You know what I mean?
No, right. That's true for you. No, that's true for you. I just guess that I think my situation last Bounty was I wasn't overly thrilled with the Bounty, and I think it was just the guard fleets that they had caused me, I don't know, they weren't fun. They didn't cause me more damage, but I had to use rockets on lurkers, or I had to change guards, or I had to, it was just, I'm finding the player Kickside employee bases, I found them more engaging this time around. It is truly how I found them. So I wanted to say that, and I did mean that.
And there did seem to be plenty of them spawning as well, as I said, because I'm in quite a busy place, and a lot of players are playing,
Right.
And I didn't struggle to find targets, So I'll give them kudos on that one. There was plenty, and they were spawning instantly. Virtually as soon as one died, another one would spawn back up. It might be a different level, but at least they was respawning virtually instantly.
Yes. Yeah.
I think one of the problems last one too wasn't only so much the difficulty of the bases with the guard fleets in them, as much as it was as well just the no notification that there was going to be guard fleets in them. Like the total lack of communication on it, because everybody was expecting from the month before, go in, there's no guard fleet, you might take some damage from certain base layouts, but you didn't have to worry about guarding. If you go in, you're like, oh my god, now there's like guards in every single one of these things.
Yeah.
That was not communicated at all.
One thing I noticed, the 93, when it first started, it didn't have a guard fleet in. The next day I went in to hit a couple and they had a guard fleet in. So because if they update live, obviously if that player had got online and put his guard fleet in, the base has actually changed. So now having a guard fleet in.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the other little thing I want to, little comment on is there's obviously a TLC running for upgrades for Saturns, Nemesis, Manticore, stuff like that. The problem I get with this, it was all right last week when there was a raid on, and it's half repair. But when you're doing TLCs with the other things going on, in this time it's not half repair, and they're normally pretty bloody punishing, and obviously it's very limited as well. The time limited campaigns can be hard to get through without taking a shit ton of damage. I think that they should be those half. I think they should always be half repair. I just think they're too much for because it's a catch up, supposedly, yeah. And I just think it's too punishing for those players trying to do them.
Well, what was supposed to happen, and of course this was, an idea that the last three teams had. So this team probably thinks it has to be terrible. But like these targets, when they would go to become map targets and they would go to become TLC targets, were supposed to be tuned down to account for not having half repair time. And I have yet to see any TLC within the last year, probably longer, but within the last year for sure, where the targets have been tuned down to difficulty.
Exactly.
I have not seen that at all.
Yeah, I think they're kicking out sun damage. You know, I mean, fortunately I haven't got to do them because all the upgrades they're offering, our fleets already have upgraded. But for those that do need to do them, it's very punishing. You know. So, from a completely selfless, perspective, I would like it to be a half repair for those that need it. You know.
I'll be 100% honest. I wouldn't even look at TLCs much anymore because they're almost always for upgrade kits and whatnot. I don't do upgrades. I don't think upgrades have a place in the game, so I don't do them. I'm a man of principle, and so I don't bother.
Yeah, so I was just looking at the one that's on tester coverage at the moment. And it's quite good. There's some good stuff in there if you need it, you know, because it's also got upgrade tokens. There's never enough, obviously, and and it's got VXP tokens. So, I mean, the last VXP that we did was easy. You know, I actually had nothing to VXP, nothing, because I'd managed to get everything via the tokens and things like that in the past. I actually had nothing, so that was a nice, easy weekend from that perspective,
All right, so you got anything else? And we can ask Chad too. If Chad has anything he wants to talk about.
Yeah, there you go. What's Chat saying?
Otherwise, I'm going to call this one early and get back to Stargate.
All
right, travel through those stars, man.
Let's take one, man. Sit the line. Don't worry about it.
And yeah, I definitely agree with it. I hate how they always make sure they put some ridiculous crap in prize pack 1 and 2 DLCs that you have to do. Like, whether it's VXP tokens or like some little limited piece of shit that you have no use for. It's like, really? I'm going to have to do these to get through that.
And then I also agree with Carl on some, Kix has wording. They're just not the best at clarity. You just make it simple and clear. Like, and not just this last thing where we thought maybe possibly that turret upgrades were coming, but it's just been that way always.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I pulled the panic button on that when it caused everybody else to panic because just the way it read, it did say new turret upgrade or new turret and ship upgrades or whatever. The way it was all kind of jumbled together like that, it definitely made it sound like turret upgrades when you read it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, even let's just make it clearer so that so we know. That's not the first time though. In general, they've always done that. So
it's amazing what proper punctuation can do when you're in a communication line.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, proper communication changes your whole my whole attitude on the game. Like I didn't have surprise features coming at me that I wasn't aware, like the guards this time. So I'm in a better attitude. Those type of things help.
Did you notice how they rushed the prize list? There's no selection tabs. Everything's all a jumbled mess.
But it does not throw you back out to nowhere land.
Slight improvement.
Yeah. So.
Well, hey, I've got some spare points. I could get some skins. Like I really need them to make me a cooler pirate.
I didn't even look. Do they have like alliance prizes and personal prizes and shit this time or no?
If you're under 500 in the listing, or you get a free skin. If you're under 200, you get 3 skins and something else. I think they're giving out also titanium. And
Okay,
top
but
right,
no,
Wasn't
like,
there-
no stupid,
token.
ridiculous first place alliance gets 500,000 days worth of build tokens or anything.
No,
There is something about build tokens. I forget what it is.
yeah, but it's not for the alliance stuff. As far as I know, there's no.
I'd have to look at the briefing again to see it.
Yeah, I'm going back to them. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm just looking, trying to check if there was anything there for that. Once I started looking at all the the skins, I sort of gave up reading it.
Oh yeah, the total bounty leaderboard prizes 1 through 10 get like 15 days of Conquer class build tokens. 11 through 50 get 10 days of Conquer class. 51 through 100 get 3 days. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, they're basically so now ridiculous amounts of prizes for the Wallet Warriors.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about alliance though, does it?
No, there's no alliance leaderboard.
Which is weird because they've got an alliance scoreboard.
I don't know.
There's
I'd be perfectly happy with seeing alliance leaderboards and personal leaderboards just going away. But that's just me.
it's like it's completely superfluous to have an alliance bounty leaderboard if there is no bonus for being the highest alliance or in the top 10 or 20. You know what I mean? It
No,
seems
no,
like-
because those alliances can still stroke their EP and stuff the whole thing. So
yeah.
that's more enough reason for that to happen.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing to be gained from being the highest alliance or the lowest or whatever, you know. Not this time, anyway.
No.
All right, anything else? Or are we wrapping?
Rapper. Yeah.
All right, sounds good to me. So we're calling it here. Give everybody a little extra time to go do other stuff if they want to participate in bounty, or if they want to go drink some beer, or if they want to go watch Stargate, or if they want to go watch Stargate, they drink beer. You know, so it's all good. To answer your question, Carl, I'm on season 4 currently. So I still have quite a few seasons to go. But anyway, we're wrapping it up this time. Thanks for joining us always, guys. And we will see you next week when we'll be talking about Village. An event I'll actually be participating in, maybe a little bit at least. So I'll at least have a little bit to add to the conversation. But anyway, thanks for coming. As always, we appreciate you watching. And we will talk to you guys later.
Good night.
Good night,
Not
everyone.
all.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good luck.
Ooh.